Hello everyone. So we're back again. Today we're going to do topic 7, which is circle transformations. I'm going to make this video so it will help you understand. This is a very easy topic because we've done transformations before, but this is relating to circles. Okay. Um, so I'm going to walk you through the pages of Math Nation book. If you have your book, you can follow along. If not, you can just pretty much just watch this video and follow along. So first of all, transformations. Remember, we have rigid transformation and non-rigid. And rigid transformation basically means that they cannot change. Okay, the movement, the transformation cannot change. The figure will not change its shape or size. And non-rigid means is going to change. And in that case, I'm going to go ahead and list all the ones that we've done so far. Okay, so first question is, how can you determine if two circles are congruent? How do we know if two circles are congruent? Well, we know that two circles are congruent by having, and I'm going to type it here, having the same radius. So if you look at the radius of a circle, okay, and the radius is from the center to the outer part of the circle. So if you look at the radius and the radius are the same length, then that means that the two circles will be congruent. Okay, how can you determine if two circles are similar? Well, all circles are similar. Okay, all circles are similar. How is the equation of a circle affected by a rigid transformation? Okay, remember that the equation of a circle, you have the center, which is x minus h square plus y minus k square. It's equal to r square. Okay, and notice the square, I'm just putting a 2 because I don't have an option to put a 2 here, an exponent of 2. So the center is represented by the h and the k, and the radius is represented by the r square. So how is the equation of a circle affected by a rigid transformation? And when we talk about rigid transformation, remember that is a shape that is not going to change. So we have reflection, rotation, and translation. These are the ones that are rigid. Okay? They're not going to change. So what happens is if the shape is not going to change, but if we reflect it, that means the radius will stay the same because the size of the shape is not changing, it's staying the same. So the radius will be the same. So the only thing that will change in this case is the location of the center. The center could be, if I reflected over the x-axis, then that means this circle will be somewhere over here. It will be reflected, and what changed, the radius will be the same, but the center is what changes. Okay, so how is it affected? Well, in this case, it will be the center of the circle, okay, of the circle will change, and the radius will stay the same. Okay. And then the next question says, how is the equation of a circle affected by a non-rigid transformation? Remember, the non-rigid in this case is dilation. And the way that it will be affected in this case, um, the radius will change, and the center, the location of the center and radius could change, okay, to a different size because the size will change, so the radius is being affected now. All right, so let's take a look at this this topic, and I'm going to go here where it says evaluate which transformation will map circle A into circle B. So I'm going from circle A into circle B. So what will make circle A to map to it to circle B, what will make circle A be the same as circle B? So I'm going in this direction. I'm going from A to B. Remember what I said before? You're going from small to big. So when we do the scale factor, or the scale factor, the ratio that we're going to have, if it's going from small to big, we're going to have the big number on top of the fraction of your scale factor, big, and then we're going to have the small on the bottom, okay, because it's getting bigger. If it's the other way around, then it will be small on top and big on the bottom, okay? So what will map this? Well, let's take a look at this. We're going to look at the center, and the center, notice the location of the center in this case. It's located at, and I'm just going to go ahead and type it here. The center is located at -4 and 1. This is where the center is of point A. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this center of point A, move down to where B is. So we're going to do translation. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to the right. And if I write the rule, then in this case, I am moving. So first of all, I'm moving the value of X and Y, and it's going to be moved 2. So it's X plus, how many spaces did I said? 6 spaces, so it's going to be plus 6, X plus 6. And then on the Y, I need to go one space going up. One space going up, so that's positive. So that's going to be Y plus 1. Y plus 1 plus 1. And this is my rule for translation. Now that I have moved, this circle has moved over here, I'm not done yet, because now what is it that's going to map it to be in the same size as circle B? I need to dilate it, okay? I need to dilate it. So in this case, if I'm going to dilate it, if you notice that the radius for the circle A, the radius is equal to 1, okay? Radius of circle A is 1. In circle B, we have 1, 2, 3. So the radius for that one is 3. Okay, so again, to write the scale factor here is going to be, remember what I said, it's getting bigger. So it's going to be 3 over 1, which is the same thing as 3. That means it's getting 3 times bigger. So to write the rule for dilation, this is translation. Now for dilation rule will be X comma Y, and is getting 3 times bigger, so it's going to be 3x comma 3y. And this is the rule for dilation. And pretty much that's it for that one. Now let's do the next question. And the next question for that, I'm going to go ahead and erase this. But pretty much it's the same thing, except it's going backwards. So it says, what transformation could be applied to match circle A radius to the circle B? Okay. What type of transformation could be applied to match circle A to radius? Okay, well, to the radius, to match it, we need to multiply by 3 to match that. Okay, so pretty much already did that question. Let's go to the next one. And the next one on this page is what will map, and if we're going in the different direction, if we're going from B to A, notice it's getting smaller. Okay, it's getting smaller. So in this case, again, I need to do my center. My translation is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm moving 6 spaces to the left. So my rule here will be XY, and then it will be X minus 6. And then my Y, what's happening with my Y? I need to go down one space going down. So it's going to be y minus 1. This is my translation rule. Okay. Now for dilation, since my radius for this is 1, 2, 3. This is my radius, and my radius is 1. But notice I'm going from big to small. Big to small. So that means that my scale factor, it's going to be, since it's getting smaller, smaller needs to go on top. So it's going to be 1 over 3. That's my scale factor. So to write the rule for dilation is going to be x comma y, and then it's going to be x 1 over 3x comma 1 over 3y. And that's it. This is how you do this. Let's take a look at the part B of this problem. Notice they telling you that the rule is x plus 1. That means you got to go one space to the right. Y plus 1. That means you got to go one space going up. Okay, to be able to translate that. Let's take a look at this problem right here, number 2. Notice they give you the rule. It says graph the result of the transformation using the rule. And then they give you this rule. That means I got to move the center 3 spaces to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 2 spaces going up. So that means my center is going to be right here, right now. Followed by a dilation of a scale factor of 2 over 3. If my scale factor is 2 over 3, I need to find the radius. In this case, is 3. R equals 3. So to get my new circle, what the radius of the new circle will be, I need to take the radius of circle O, which is 3, and I need to multiply that by 2/3. Okay, and 2/3, because 2 is on the top, that means this circle, this radius, will get smaller, right? It's getting smaller. It's 2/3 of the size. So what you do here is you're going to multiply 3 times 2, which is 6, and then divide it by 3, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So notice what happens. The radius for my new circle, it's equal to 2. So it got smaller. It got 2/3 smaller. So now this is my center for the new circle, and I need to have a radius of 2. So I'm going to go 2 spaces going up. So there's a point on the circle that is located here. Then I go 2 spaces to the left. Then I go 2 spaces going down, and then I go 2 spaces to the right. And this is the location for the new circle. Okay, notice it got smaller. The radius is 2, and this one has a radius of 3. Okay, so pretty much this explains what this topic is about. I'm going to take you to the IXL P9, which basically is fairly simple. And let's go ahead and do this. So now pay attention to, notice this is Q prime and this is Q. Remember that the prime is the copy. This is the copy, so that means we are going from small to big. If we're going small to big, that means that on a scale factor, the bigger number will be going there. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is the translation. What's happening from Q to Q prime? Well, it's moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means it's going x plus 10. It's going to the right 10 spaces. And it's moving up 2 spaces. So this will be y plus 2. And the scale factor, to find the scale factor, you need to find the radius. My radius here is 2. And the radius here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here is 8. Remember that the scale factor, because it's getting bigger, so it's going to be 8 over 2. But 8 over 2 is the same thing as 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So my scale factor is 4. You submit that, and there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and, like always, take you to the next level. We jump into the next level, and this is pretty much the same thing. Okay, we have a radius of 2, and here we have a radius is going from 1 to 9, so that means it has a radius of 8. Okay, and it's going from P to P prime. So that means that my scale factor is 4. And then to find the translation, you're going to count how many spaces is going to the right and how many spaces is going down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip this one because this is the same thing as the previous one that we just did. So I'm going to jump a level. And again, this is pretty much the same thing. And now let's do this one. Now this one is going, notice we have T and we have T prime. So now it's going from big to small, big to small. Just think about the scale factor again. If it's getting small, that means that the small number needs to go on top and the big number goes on the bottom. And always simplify the fractions. Try to reduce it, okay? So let's do the, first of all, the translation. So we're going from 0 to 8. So that means we're going 8 spaces to the right. So that's going to be x plus 8 on the x. And then we have to go from 0 to 8. So that's going 8 spaces up. So that's going to be y plus 8. And then the scale factor we have that is going from 0 to 8. So this is 8 again. And this one has 2. So in this case, it's going from 8 to 2. So remember, the small number needs to go on top. So this is going to be 2 on top and then 8 on the bottom. Okay, be careful with this, okay, because it's getting smaller. So now you can simplify 2 over 8, which it will be 1 over 4. So that means that the scale factor in this case, it will be 1/4. Okay, so the 1 divided by 4, enter, and there we go. All right, so let me take you to another level and see if there's anything different in this case. And let's see what we have. That's 7, that's 8, this is 2. No, let me take you to a different level. I'm trying to see if I can find anything that's more difficult. Let's see what the radius is on this one. We got 1. We're going from 4 to 9. So here is 5. And here we're going from -4 to 2, which is 6. Okay, so this one here, pay attention to this one because they do not divide evenly. So in this case, we have a radius of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so my scale factor, pay attention to this one. Notice I'm going from U to U prime. So that means it's getting bigger, which means that the bigger number will go on top, and that's 6 over 5. Since you cannot divide 6 divided by 5, it will stay like that, 6 over 5. Okay, all you got to do now is how many spaces do I need to get to from center to center? So I need to go from 4 all the way to -4, which is 8. But in this case, I'm going left, so it's going to be x minus 8. And then I'm going from -5 to 3. So it's going to be 8 spaces going up. So it's going to be y plus 8. And my scale factor is 6 over 5. Enter, and there we go. Okay. So pretty much this is it. You shouldn't have any other issues. If you do, you can always, through Teams, you can send me a message. But I think this video will greatly help you. Okay, so I will see you until the next video.